Hey everybody, so Life Lesson Friday for April 26, 2024. The journey always changes, right? Like you have a goal. We all have goals. Most of us have goals if we want to be successful in something and reach our potential, right? So we have goals. They can be small goals, they can be big goals, but the journey is always changing, right? Because there's always different things that come up that we weren't expecting, obstacles that come up, whether it's in my case right now, I'm dealing with an injury, right, from an athletic standpoint. Or if it's a relationship, maybe, something goes haywire, somebody loses their job, um, accidents happen, right? Um, a bill comes up that you weren't expecting, or, inflation goes nuts, right? Like, so there's things that we can't always control that come into play. And like, proof in the pudding is like, here's my life right now, right? Yeah, I got a boot on. Last Friday at this time, I was preparing to run in a race, and I knew I was dealing with an injury. I was trying to overcome it, and it gave out. Um, and so if you followed any of my posts, you know that I've got a small tear in my Achilles tendon. And so now it's the journey to where I want to be looks a little different, right? There's an obstacle, there's a challenge, there's a setback, some people say, that I have to overcome. And the goal, there's been multiple goals for this year. The main goal for 2024 has been to compete in a race in Sacramento in July. That's still on the table. It's a little bit dicier of a journey now to get there, but it's still on the table. And the even bigger goal is a big meet in March of next year, which would be a world's competition, not just a national competition, but a world level competition that I'd like to go to. So, um, the goals are still there. The journey looks a little different than I thought it would be, maybe a week ago, 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. But that's okay. That's life, right? Like, things come up. Keep your mind on the things that you can control. Don't get distracted by the things that you can't control, right? And I'll be honest, that's where I was last week. After I had to drop out of the race, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, my wife was like, "You got to get out of this. You got to change your headset. Like, your mind is not where it needs to be." Tuesday, she was very worried because I was just mentally a basket case, mainly because I didn't know what was wrong, right? Like, and it's so difficult when we don't know what we don't know. And all I knew was I needed to take time off, and I was doing that. And on Wednesday, I got a firm diagnosis. And let me tell you, and you can ask my physical therapist, when she gave me, she said, "Come over here, read this report. We just got the report. Come over here, read the report." And it showed small tear. My mind flipped immediately from this confused, don't know what to think, don't know where this journey's going anymore. I have no idea if I'm going to hit any of these goals anymore. I don't know. To, okay, now I know what I'm doing. Now I know what the obstacle is, and I can overcome it. And if you're in a place where you don't know what your obstacle is that's keeping you from where you want to go, take a little time. Sit down, write down your thoughts, write down your ideas. Go see someone who's an expert in whatever you are dealing with, right? Like, mine was a physical thing. I went and saw my physical therapist and said, "Help me figure this out. Like, we got to figure this out. I need to know what is truly wrong so I can know the game plan to overcome it." Now, I can tell you 100% that the journey from today to July is probably going to look different than what I have in my mind right now. But it's easier to think about that and to plan for that and to attack that now that I know what the obstacle is. I just need to know how to get over it. I know what the obstacle is, and now it's a matter of trying to get over it. When you don't know what the obstacle is, the journey will change, and the journey will stop you until you figure out what the obstacle is. Because until you know what the obstacle is, you don't know how to get over it. And those obstacles come up all the time. In life is full of obstacles. Every day will have obstacles in it for you if you are trying to get somewhere. There will be obstacles. And it's just a matter of how do you get around it, go over it, go through it. How do you get to the other side of the obstacle so that you can continue getting to where you want to be? So I'm cheering for you to get there. It's not always easy. But when you know what the obstacle is, the plan can be made and you can attack it. And you can get your mindset right on what you have to do and you can move forward. So know that the journey will change. The journey will change from what you have in your head, right? And I've used this analogy many times, but WD-40 is a very common product that is used for people when they're, fixing things, mechanics, plumbers, all kinds of different people use WD-40 for different things. And it stands for Water Displacement 40, which means it was the 40th attempt at trying to figure out the formula. Like, they literally named it after how many attempts it took. So if they had stopped at 2 or 4 or 18, we wouldn't have that product. We'd have something different probably, eventually, but we wouldn't have that product. And believe me, they probably had no idea how many attempts it was going to take, but they didn't stop. The journey changed on them because if they had figured it out at 20, we'd have WD-20. So, we don't. We have WD-40 because it took 40 times. So don't give up just because the obstacle comes up and you think you can't get over it. It's just a matter of, how do I get over it? Who do I need to bring in to get involved to help me get over it? And then it's just a stick-to-itness of being able to get over it. It's going to take time, of course. But day after day, little by little, you'll get there. So just remember, the journey's not always as easy and as simple and as... Sometimes it is, but not always as easy and simple as we want it to be. And if it's too easy, it's probably the wrong journey, or it's not a journey to a big enough goal that what you should be looking for. So the journey is always going to change. Don't give up. Keep going. You'll get there. I'm behind you. Let's go get it.